Okay. Another story time.
All right.
This time, it's not necessarily a myth this time. It's more of a oral history tradition wavering, leaning into legend territory type thing.
What part of the world are we in this time?
Europe.
Okay.
Ireland, Ireland and Belgium. We're actually going to be telling about a saint.
Oh, okay. Like Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, but
This isn't about Santa.
no.
I'm gonna be really disappointed.
No, it's not. All right. So I actually want to tell this to illustrate how Disney will take a fairy tale and kiddify it and make it lame.
Yeah.
They'll take a Grimm's fairy tale and make it less grim. Oh.
Oh,
Guess
they
what?
always do that.
Well, guess what? The Brothers Grimms did it first.
Like, okay.
All
right.
right. Now, here's the original kind of oral history, probably, which is more of a fantastical history situation of the telling of Saint Dymphna.
Great name, by the way.
Don't be an ass.
I'm naming my first son Dymphna.
It is a girl.
I'm naming my first son Dymphna.
Dymphna is the daughter of King Damon. And everything is cool in Dymphna's life until Dymphna's ma dies. Now, this king is super upset about this and was in, like, hella denial that he decided that the only way to fill the void left by his wife was to marry his daughter.
Okay, well, whoa. What
is
year are we in,
Like
first of all?
1300s or something. No, actually, even earlier than that.
Fill the hole in my life? You can have your daughter there, and you don't have to be married to her.
Oh, you just wait. This puts Greek tragedy to shame.
I see you're on paragraph 1. Crud.
So, it's like, Dymphna fills the void in his heart because evidently the only thing he really cared about was having a wife that looked the same as his old wife. Or something. But Dymphna is, she's like, no, I have consecrated my life and body to Christ, being a good Catholic nun-type creature, and has taken a vow of chastity. Also, ew, Dad, that's like, you can't do that.
I'm glad she led with, no, actually, chastity. No, please. Not this one.
Okay, so, Cuckoo Banana's incest dad ain't having none of it, and he was going to force her to marry him, because he's crazy. So, Dymphna does the sensible thing and gets the hell out of Dodge. So she leaves Ireland, and she and 3 buddies that help her to leave pop on over to Belgium to hide out. And
This is where I would go.
yeah. So,
Great waffles.
So she goes to Belgium, and she sees all these sick and poor people, and she does what any 13th century princess heroine does in this situation, and uses her wealth to help the downtrodden. This is very 13th century. But this turns out to be her downfall, since her pa gets wind of the charity in Belgium that's happening.
It's gotta be her!
It's like he tracks down her wealth going places, and he finds her. And he captures her and her 3 buddies. And the first thing he does is, like, cut off the head of her buddy, Garabernus, who is also a saint.
This story went to 10 fast.
And he goes, "You're coming back to Ireland." And she's like, No, you chopped off my friend's head. And it's like, you think that's bad? And he chops off her head.
What?
She did.
She does?
Yep.
You're not even in the 3rd paragraph yet. Does she come back as like a ghost via Ghostbusters or something weird like this?
No.
The story's
It's
over.
like, this brings King Douchebag's dead loved one counter up to 2. Because he's doing this presumably because he's mourning his wife. That's what I need to fix my wife troubles, a dead daughter.
Slash. You think that's bad? My life's terrible. I have two dead relatives.
Inbreeding's bad, kids.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
Okay, so later on, like 5 lunatics, crazy people, crazy old guys, happen to camp out in the area where Dymphna dies. This is very end of Little Mermaid, and they sleep in the area where she died, standing up to her father and saying, "No, I refuse." Like, she's supposedly standing up to tyranny, and she gets martyred, and that's her martyred status. And then these 5 lunatics, they sleep where she died, and they're cured of their insanity.
Oh,
these 5 crazy people sleep where she dies, and they're cured of their illness, and then this, spreads, and then all of these people who are, plagued by madness of some form or another go to the place where she dies, and they find cures, and in virtue of the fact that people go there and it's a center for people who are mentally troubled to go find help. And this place is called Geen, I think.
Geen, right behind the McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's just some random place. He found her in just some random place and killed her. It could have been behind a McDonald's.
McDonald's didn't exist yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But so the Catholic Church gets wind of this, so they make a church. It burns down. They make another church. And
yeah, yada yada yada.
yeah, and adjacent
Aliens
to it,
come to Earth.
They make this hospice for the mentally ill.
Aww.
And so Saint Dymphna is known as the protector of the lunatics, or the
healer.
The healer of the mad. She stands up to her mad dad, and so she's symbolically standing up to madness everywhere. And I find this interesting because I'm like, wow, this story sounds awfully familiar when I read it, and I'm like, this is Sap Sorrow with a sad ending.
Wait, what's Sap Sorrow?
Sap Sorrow is kind of like a version of Cinderella-ish, where this... Okay, that's weird.
Wait, we're back. We are back now. Freaking Windows update.
80% of the computer is dedicated to the computer becoming more computer. I only get use of 20% of the computer.
We're using Audacity. This isn't like a resource hog. It's just a recording program. Freaking A. Alright, we're back. What's Sap Sorrow?
Sap Sorrow is a Cinderella-esque story. It's in the family of Cinderella-type stories where a downtrodden girl becomes married to a prince, but it's also also a reverse Beauty and the Beast, where the girl is the beast, and there's also she's sometimes straight up a bear or a donkey, where she dresses and hides from her crazy dad who wants to marry her because he's so overwrought with sadness that his wife died. So Sap Sorrow, or Donkey Skin, or Bear Lady, runs away and dressed in animal skins or becomes an animal. And the prince of another country must see through the outward appearance and become and fall in love with the princess that's on the inside. It's like it's actually kind of neat that nobody else knows about that. It's not talked about all that much. But it's usually a happy ending because the Dymphna XP gets to actually have a happy ending and marry somebody else. But the original Dymphna was married to Christ, essentially, because
that was the thing.
So it couldn't have a happy ending like that. But the Brother Grimm heard this story and were like, no, I want a version with a happy ending.
We're gonna make her a donkey still, and you have a crazy father.
Brothers Grimm Disney'd before Disney'd.